All right, it is well time. Time to dink with the well some more. So first of all, when I installed this sampling pump, just because it was kind of the only thing I could find small enough to fit in my tiny well. The inside diameter of the well casing is only 2 3/8. So it had originally a jet pump with a 1-inch galvanized pipe, I think is what you would call it. And so this is where the top of the well would be, the well casing itself. And there's 25 feet. And this is the current water level. When I did it last year, it was 16 foot 8 inches, I think, down to the water. Now it's 35.7, so it dropped 19 feet. And then it's only 5 feet to the pump currently. The well is actually 80 foot to the bottom. Supposedly you're supposed to be 10 foot from the bottom, so you're not sucking up junk from the swirl action, so on and so forth. Or at least 10 feet, I should say. So I'm going to go all the way down to 65 feet. That gives me a 15 foot buffer. So this is the new one. They actually finally started selling smaller regular type well pumps. This one does. I mean, it's like a house pump instead of just a little sampling pump. Which, by the way, I burned up that sampling pump because I ran it too long. You're only supposed to run it for 15 minutes at a time or 20 minutes or something, and I accidentally left it on for a while and that sucker burned up. It worked though. It did pump because it filled my drum with water. But anyway, this one does I think it's 4.4 gallons per minute, and is I mean, I think that all changes depending on the length of your run and all that, but I think it goes up to 164 feet or something like that is what at least the spec says. And it's 370 watts of power that it uses. So I installed a check valve here, and this is 3/4. That's what it's actually 1/2 inch that comes out of the pump, but then I trunked it up to 3/4. I think that will make it easier for it to pump. Pretty sure that's how it works. And all the stuff available like this type, the tubing is 3/4 anyway. So then it also comes with this electrical cord, which I don't know, what is that? 60 feet or something. It's already got an end on it. So I can just put an extension cord on that. Supposedly you're supposed to put a check valve 25 feet above the water level, or at least 25 feet. Then some say every 200 feet. So I don't know. I think part of it is the code for where you're at or whatever. This well just isn't that deep. So what I'm going to do is wait till I install it, and then I'll splice it in. I think I'll just splice it in above ground so that I have one continuous run that's inside the well itself. If there's ever later complications or something, I don't know. It just seems like it'd be easier to deal with. One less thing to separate the tube for the well to fall down, or the pump to fall down, I mean. Which, you know, I could fish it out with a magnet or something, I'm sure, but, you know. There are two little eyelets on the pump that don't look very substantial to me, but I guess that's where you're supposed to connect something to pull it out. I am not using a torque arrestor. As far as I can tell from anything I've seen, well, people saying is you need it, or they don't install them unless there's a horse and a half or bigger pump. And this is only a half horse. It's a pretty small pump, I suppose, in pump terms. So the torque arrestor, I think it goes down here like a couple of feet or something above the pump, and it opens up like fingers kinda against the casing, so that when the pump turns on and it's trying to twist, it minimizes that twist, so that something about so it doesn't eventually unthread your pump or something. But not a concern for me. It's only a third of the power. I even looked at torque arrestors. The smallest one I think was 3 inches. Wouldn't even fit in my well anyway. But yeah. So anyway, I Teflon taped and use sealant on all the joints. Double clamped there. Had to use a torch to loosen the tubing. Not loosen it, but to make it soft to be able to push it on. Nice tight fit. I don't even think those clamps are necessary. It was so tight, but better safe than sorry, right? And so the next step is to attach the electrical cord every 3 feet to the water hose, and using, what's it called, Temflex electrical tape. That's what the well people say to use. It's got a higher, I don't know, higher stickiness or something, and it says something about temperature, blah blah blah, works better in the water, which is what I used on this. As you can see, it did hold up, at least for the year it was in the ground or in the water, so I guess there's something to be said. So yeah, so now I know where the bottom of the well is. It's been super dry, so the static water level, I guess you would call it, dropped 19 feet from what it was before, and hopefully it doesn't go any lower. That would suck. All right, I think that's all for now. I think that's an ample update.